We're at the Los Angeles airport when we see Gary Scarf again. He's not surprised when we tell him about the case of the epileptic. Gary has told us that he's willing to help us find an abortion clinic, as well as the labor camps and the children camps of which former Scientologists report. For this, he's going to be returning to his old workplaces, so he'll have to reckon with crossing the path of his old bosses. It's the next morning. We're on a sightseeing tour of the Scientology headquarters. Gary has pointed out the building in the middle, where during his time in Scientology, prisoners were locked up. A few weeks before, we'd actually observed Scientology prisoners at work. In the offices of Special Affairs, up there in 1991, a plot to murder was cooked up against the sect enemy. That moved him to leave, Scarf says.
The most severe criminal activity that I was asked to carry out, that anyone can be asked to carry out, was to take someone's life. It's horrible to think that I was ordered. It wasn't ordered, not a request. I was ordered. I was pressed to commit this murder. The plan was that this woman should lose control of her Ford Bronco after the brake line was severed. In case that didn't work, I was to take my car and ram it into her from behind to cause an accident. I was supposed to do everything to ensure that she was dead. If she did in fact survive the accident, I was to take a pillow, put it over her head, and suffocate her to death.
Talk to my taking a pillow and putting it over her head and suffocating her to death.
These enormous allegations that Scientology has denied have been testified by Scarf under oath.
When they're talking about killing.
When we talked about the killing of the suppressive person, the atmosphere was very exhilarated. There was a lot of laughter. It was fun. It gave us a sense of power over the victim. And then we talked about what I should do if the police reacted quickly and I didn't have time to flee. In that case, I was to commit TKO, total knockout. Basically, that's suicide, and I was told how to do that. I was to take a gun, point it to the roof of my mouth upwards. I was to pull the trigger, and that should at least sever my spinal cord. Then, if I didn't die immediately, at least it killed the brain matter, so you're unable to talk and you're nothing but a shell.
Killed the brain matter so you would be unable to.
Scientology denies this too. A bit later, downtown Los Angeles. We are harassed by some people of Gary's former department with cameras. They must have followed us.
What we're up to? We're making a film about your film.
Elliot Abelson is a lawyer for Scientology International. Mike Rinder is chief of the Secret Service, and Lisa Goodman is his assistant, officially the press spokeswoman. A confrontation between Gary Scarf and Rinder emerges. They call each other liars.
I have no idea.
He's
not me.
You're a liar.
He is not me.
You are a liar.
I know where you are.
You're a liar.
I know where you are.
You are a liar.
Gary.
You are a liar.
Gary.
Yes, Mike.
Listen.
Yes.
Rinder alleges that Gary, as a worker for the Cult Awareness Network, lied in public. Yes, said Gary, everything I did for OSA was a lie.
For OSA, a lie.
Right here, David. It's right here.
In the office of lawyer Graham Barry in Los Angeles, Gary shows pictures from his time at Scientology. The appendix to his statement under oath consists of approximately more than 1,000 pages of documents. Graham Barry represents several Scientology adversaries. In the context of one of the court cases, he has asked Gary to make a so-called deposition, an interrogation under oath. Thus, the former Scientology agent became one of the crown witnesses for the incrimination of the organization.
The Scarf deposition was a very long one. It involved many attempts.
The Scarf deposition was a very long one. It involved many attempts by the Scientology attorneys to stop the deposition. They were claiming constantly that Scarf was incredible, the evidence wasn't relevant, that we were harassing the church, etc. Nevertheless, the magistrate judge who supervised this discovery ordered the deposition to continue.
The magistrate judge who supervised this discovery ordered the deposition to continue. Sunday when?
It was a cross-interrogation. Graham Barry on the one side, Scientology attorneys on the other. The deposition took 17 days, was recorded by court stenographers, and completely taped on video. Gary Scarf demanded the highest security measures from the attorneys. He was in fear of his life. In his deposition, he explained the reasons for this fear. Gary claims that after he quit Scientology, they tried to abduct him.
And I just happened to notice some fingers off to the side in the door of the jam. And
I just happened to notice some fingers off to the side in the door, in the jam, in the side door of a van, and a face that looked in my direction. I said I would call the police and went to the telephone. I heard an automobile screeching out of the parking lot, and there was a car fleeing right behind it.
at a high rate of speed, and there was like an Oldsmobile fleeing right behind it.
What do you think they were after?
I knew what they were going to do.
I knew what they were going to do. They were going to grab me. I think they would take me to Hemet.
Take me to Hemet.
What is Hemet?
Hemet, Gilman, Hot Springs, they are all Scientology centers for prisoners. I believe I never would have returned. I think my life would have been over.
After the visit to the attorney, outside the Scientology cameraman is waiting. Also, Secret Service man Rinder and attorney Abelson hurry to their vehicles. Two or three cars take to the chase immediately. A shadowing action of enormous proportion begins. It is obviously meant especially for our companion Gary Scarf. We informed the LA Police Department. Gary asked for that. He's feeling constant unease.
Going to Honda, LA?
We're a television crew escorting a man threatened by Scientology. Those are the ones following us.
The police, however, don't show much interest. On the highway, we try to lose the pursuers without success. We're on our way to that center where women of Scientology Sea Org have been forced to have abortions, as told in the following statement under oath.
The more these women wanted to carry their pregnancy to childbirth, the stronger the pressure was to have an abortion. I was pressed into an abortion myself. The pregnant women were routinely taken to a clinic in Riverside for an abortion.
Do our persecutors know our goal? Are they possibly trying to put pressure on the management of the abortion clinic over their portable radios?